So if you've been here for a while, you know that I pretty much stumbled into branding, business, and YouTube, you guys. When I first started, I started a YouTube channel just to help people with their relaxed hair, and it has turned into what it is today. And I am beyond grateful. So in this video, we're talking about what I do if I was starting my business over from scratch. And then also in the next two videos, we're continuing the series called From Scratch, which is on my channel, and it's talking about my YouTube channel from scratch, and then also my brand from scratch. So be sure you guys have subscribed if you haven't already, and let's go ahead and hop in. Hey y'all, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea, and this is the place for entrepreneurs and small business owners looking to brand their business and increase their impact online. Okay, so with me stumbling into it, I made a lot of mistakes, and I actually did some things right that I didn't realize were right at the time. I was just doing it because I thought it was best practice, and turns out it was. But anyway, I wanted to make this video as well as the other two videos that are in this series called From Scratch, simply to help you guys. Like, my pathway was long, okay, and it's all part of a journey. It's all part of an overall journey, of course. But if I can help make you guys' road shorter, I will, and that's the whole point of this series coming up. So today's video is all about what I do if I was starting my business over from scratch, and then the next two videos are regarding my YouTube channel and my brand. So be sure you have subscribed if you have not already, and let's go ahead and hop in. So number one, the first thing that I would do is I would pray over the business venture to make sure it's something that God wants me to do, something that could glorify the kingdom, something that could just make his name great and share it with the world and stuff like that. Now that doesn't mean everything you do for God has to be in ministry. It can just be within your business and you shouting out his name within your business. You know, like we have different people all over the world, all over the place, in every different niche and category, all giving glory to God. So just making sure your business and making sure my business could be one that glorifies God, but then also most importantly too is that it's something that God wants me to do, that that's my next best step that he wants me to take in my business or in my path or journey or whatever. So yeah. Okay, so number two is I would decide who I'm helping and what I'm helping them do. Like, that is so important. So many people will just start a business just because they want to start a business and not have the foundation laid out in terms of that. So it's like, why are you creating your business? Are you creating your business strictly for you to be able to come up and get out of your 9 to 5? Or are you creating your business to help somebody solve their problem? The latter one is the correct answer because we're all in business to help other people. That's how our businesses stay open. That's how our businesses are built, like, sustainably. So you want to build something that is the answer to somebody's problem. If it is not, you probably won't be in business very long. So one thing I would definitely say is decide who you are serving, like who is your actual person that you're serving and what you're helping them do. It's so important. So that's number two. Okay, so number three is I would establish my business model. I would establish what I want that to look like. So for some people, like speaking like in the coaching realm, like specifically in the coaching realm, okay? That's kind of what this video is more so about. Like, you guys know my business started with my YouTube channel. However, I am talking specifically within my coaching business and things that I do with all that, okay? And really kind of the business aspect of YouTube too, but primarily my coaching side of my business. So I would establish what my business model looks like, whether that's membership, whether that is a mastermind, whether that is a group coaching program or a one-on-one coaching program, whatever I wanted that to be, I would establish what I wanted that to be in the beginning. That way I can run with that. That does not mean that you cannot like change it as you're going or realize, okay, this model might be better, so let me change it to that. But I would definitely do your research, and for me, I would look back and I would do my research to figure out, okay, what do I want this to be for me? What are my goals? What are my goals for my clients? Because for me, I had a membership group, and y'all know that. I had a membership group, which I loved. I love the people who were in that group, of course. But I didn't feel like I was able to really serve them to the capacity, to the level of which, at the depth that I wanted to within that program. So I decided to make a whole program rather than just a membership group, so I can actually get to the root of some of the things they were dealing with, help them actually overcome the problems, overcome the hurdles, and get to the results they were trying to achieve. That's where I created my program YouTube Pro that I have now, and it is amazing and I love it. So it just depends on which business model you want, because I know, y'all, I'm gonna be real. I saw some people at the very beginning whenever I was like just now getting into the coaching aspect of my business, and I was like, okay, this membership group group looked kind of hot, people doing this membership group. So I was like, let me create a membership group, you guys. I really didn't do much research, didn't do much like evaluation on the benefit, the pros and cons, I guess, of a membership group, or the pros and cons of an actual program, or the pros and cons of whatever, like a product or a service or anything like that. I just went straight for the membership group because that's what I saw other people doing. And that is something I would definitely advise against, and I would do differently next time. But however, I am thankful I have landed where I have in terms of the program, because I'm able to help and serve my clients on a level of which I really wanted to from the jump. It has just allowed me to be even more in depth with those clients, and it's amazing. So I would definitely say establish what type of business model you want from the beginning as well. Now, again, like I said, you can change it, you can tweak it, you can like have various different ones going on. But I will say also, going off of that one point, is start with one thing and don't try to do 5 things, okay? Start with one thing, get really good at it, and then go on to the next one. Don't try to do everything at once. That's a really good way to get distracted and split your time. So yeah. Okay, so the 4th thing I would say is invest in coaching as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Because it's one of those things where it's like, how do you know where you want to go if you've never been there before? How you get there? Really, y'all, the secret sauce of a lot of these people, and I now hear different people talking about it now, but the secret sauce of a lot of these successful people, as in why the rich get richer, is because of coaching. It's because of the conversations you're able to have in different coaching groups, like around certain people that are going after the same goals and stuff. I've met so many new business besties within my coaching program that I'm in, and that is my hope and my goal for my program that I run as well, so that my clients will have those lasting bonds and lasting friendships within that group too for their businesses. So I would definitely say invest in coaching, not just for the bonds and the friendships you get within the programs, but also because I had never done it before. I had never done coaching before. And so it helps to have somebody who's gone before you, who has made way more money than you, who is doing what you want to do, to be able to study their framework, study their process, study their stuff, so you're not having to literally do it from scratch. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm making this series for you guys, so that you aren't having to do this from scratch. You're not having to start from the very beginning and climb your way up as you go. You have a framework to follow in terms of that. So that's one of the big reasons I say coaching is honestly one of the number one things I would say. Once you decide, I will say too, decide on what you want to do before you decide to invest in coaching. Because if you invest in coaching too soon, you'll probably lose some money, because you want to be sure what you want to do, and you want to be dedicated enough to stick with it until it works. Because most likely it will work. It's just people switch up so much that they never see the fruits of their labor because they're switching up so much. So definitely invest in some coaching. Coaching has really changed my life and changed my business for the better. So coaching for the win, all right? Coaching. Okay, also, before I forget to tell you guys, if you are an entrepreneur or small business owner and you're looking to learn how to build that ecosystem around your business using the power of YouTube, you're trying to figure out, how the heck do I have sustainable clients coming into my business? But you want to learn how to do that using YouTube. You want to build your overall brand out. You want to be more than just a brand. You want to be a movement. If that is you, then come join our Facebook group. It is amazing. I will put the link on the screen for you right here, as well as down below in the description box for you as well. It is called facebook.com/business brand YouTube. I may be changing the name soon, but we'll see. If I do, I'll update the link in the description box for you as well. But anyway, come join us. It's a lot of fun, and it is completely free, and it's a lot of fun, so come join us. Okay, so number 5 is I would really focus on organization. At the beginning, obviously I didn't know what I was doing. So what can I organize if I don't really have much to organize? But I would get very organized. That's within my money. That is in like keeping track of like my numbers and how I'm actually doing and what I'm actually making. When I first started, you guys, I did not plan for it to come into what it is today. So I was like making more money and getting sponsorships and working with brands, and I was just like, what is this? What's happening? And so I just started seeing more money in my account, and I am glad, I will say this, I am glad I had a separate account for YouTube and business and all that stuff. I had a separate account for that than my regular checkings account. I had 2 separate accounts, and that was huge because all the money was not being mixed into one pot. It was like business and YouTube were over on this side, and main stuff like from my 9-to-5 job or my regular job or whatever else I was doing was over here, like my my allowance for my parents and stuff, that was over here in the checkings account, and then business and YouTube were over here. So it was nice having them separate, so that's definitely something I recommend. But I will say tracking your numbers, knowing where you are, because you can't really know where you're trying to go if you don't know where you have been and what you have done already, and like where you can improve, you know, using your numbers, using the data instead of trying to just guess about it. So that's one thing I would say too. But then also just being more organized with kind of the flow of things. Like, okay, like having processes in place. Okay, I upload Tuesday and Friday at 12 p.m., which means I need to be editing on Monday and Wednesday at this time to this time. Okay, cool. I need to be optimizing it to be up on my channel by this date. I need to be promoting it. And there's a lot of other things, a lot of other systems, a lot of other processes that go into all of this. But having all that being organized, you guys, will save you so much time and probably a whole bunch of money. And you'll be able to make a lot of more money if you're just being more organized. But then also it'll save you the headache, because quite honestly, it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. And with a full-time job, because I still have a full-time 9-to-5 job that I love my job, so it'd be really hard to leave it one day. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that all of it together can be a lot to deal with. So you want to be sure that you are very organized. So yeah, organization key is bomb. And there's actually a girl who I really love her channel. Her name is Erin May Henry, and she's really, really good at organization. So shout out to her. She's helped me a ton with Asana, with organization. So check her out as well. I'll put her link in the description box for you guys to check her out too. Okay, so number 6 is I would get over the fear of selling. Okay, I would get over the fear of selling, because so many times well, first and foremost, I would actually come up with a product, and that's okay. Let's go into that real quick. Whenever I first started on my channel, again, I stumbled into it. It was no real plan, okay? Now, if I would have started out with a plan, I probably could have gone twice as fast, twice as far, twice as quick. But I did not, which is okay. I'm grateful for the path that I took and the things that I've learned along the way. But something I will say is that just trying to build yourself up as a content creator, for me, was not, looking back on it, the best option. Me having an actual product or service that I can offer people really did, and it's doing very, very well for me, compared to me just trying to monetize my channel. Now my channel is monetized. I have like 3 different like income streams coming just from my YouTube channel that are consistent and that are a good amount. Like, I'm very proud of myself. But other thing to say is that at the very beginning, I was trying to just do YouTube. I didn't want to have any products, didn't want to have any services. And that goes back to that business model and looking at what you want your business model to be. Do you just want to be a content creator? Which is 100% possible and okay. But I didn't have the coaching in that area to know what I needed to do with that. And then also, I didn't know what that took, quite honestly. I was just trying to do it by myself, which is not, Nope. If you can hire help as soon as you can, okay? Like, that is so important. So I would definitely say number 6 was that don't be afraid to sell. So once you actually have a product or service or something to offer your people, offer it. It's honestly you're doing them a disservice if you hold it back from them, because especially if it's something that they need, which if you've done it right and you have, you know, really created the product or the service around your already like pre-existing audience or pre-existing community, then it is something that they need. You've identified an area of need for them. You've identified something that they needed to have in order to solve their problem, and then you're pitching it to them as a solution to their problem. So for me, I would say don't be afraid to sell, because whenever I did offer coaching, it took me a long time to be okay with like offering it, or not feeling like I was like sleazy trying to offer. I don't know. It was uncomfortable, and a lot of people struggle with sales. So that's why in one of the modules within my YouTube Pro course, that's something I teach my clients how to do, is how to sell, especially using the power of YouTube. So how to sell their products or services within their videos and stuff like that. So, and within their brand, of course. So yeah, I would definitely say not being afraid to sell. I know like people like, oh, that can be sleazy, or oh, that's too much, but it's like, ain't nobody saying that about Walmart. Ain't nobody saying that about whenever a commercial from a high tech like company comes on. Nobody's saying that. So think of it like that. Like, you're not thinking JCPenney's or I don't know, Best Buy or Target is sleazy for offering you stuff. You're like, no, they actually were the solution to my problem, because they were able to provide me with this, and in exchange of that, I invested in this and I got that. So it's the same kind of principle. So don't think that what you're selling is like sleazy or anything like that. That's something that for me, I really had to overcome. So if you're selling t-shirts, if you're selling bracelets, if you're selling high ticket coaching program, if you're selling real estate, whatever it may be that you're doing, don't be afraid to offer that to your people, especially especially if you've already built up your community, built up your audience, built up your like niche to be an expert within your field, then that's definitely something that your people are needing. So don't be afraid to offer that to them as a solution for them, because it will help them if you've created it in the right way. So yeah. So number 7, as I would say, don't just set vanity goals. Okay, now in the world of all the online entrepreneurs that are out here, which kudos to all of us because we're doing our things, and the fact that that's even a possibility for us is amazing, and I'm so excited and so proud of every single person out here doing their thing. But what I will say too is don't get caught up in the vanity metric. Don't get caught up in, oh my god, like Andrea just had a 10K month. That 10K month came with some planning. It came with a lot of stuff, a lot of action steps that I took in order to make that happen. Okay, so something that I would tell you guys too is, yes, set your goal, but most importantly, set the action plans to get to that goal. And if you don't know what those action plans are, if you don't know that step, if you don't know those frameworks, then hire a coach. It's okay. You're not a failure because you need to hire a coach to learn how to do a thing. There's nothing wrong with that. So what I will say is that if you have a goal to hit 5K in your business, and you don't know how to do that, then you need to hire help. If you do know how to do that, then don't just set the goal of 5K. Set the goal to be, okay, yes, hit 5K, but also a goal is to post consistently online, is to do this, is to do that, make sure I'm going live, make sure I have my product and my service messaged well, that it even resonates with my audience, make sure there's all these different components that are going out, make sure I'm sending out emails, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's like you plan the action steps to get to the goal, because honestly, I feel like action steps are more important than the actual goal overall. And that's something that I did not know, because I just felt like online, it just looked so easy. It looked like it was just like, oh, you just think it and it happens. You just think it and now all of a sudden you got $10,000 in your account, which is not true at all. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes to make sure that goal is actually hittable. I couldn't think of another word in time to say. Okay, whatever. So yes, to make sure that goal can actually be hit by you, you want to most importantly plan out the action steps, not just the goal. Okay, you want to launch your YouTube channel? Great. So what do you need to do in order to launch your YouTube channel? Do you need to pick out your channel banner or create your channel banner? Do you need to hire an editor or hire somebody to create your like graphics and like your thumbnails and your channel banner and stuff like that? Or can you create that yourself in Canva? You can create it in Canva, okay? But yeah, so it's like, what do you want that to look like? So you need to be sure you're planning out the action steps to get there, not just the goal. So if you want to write a book, great. What are the steps you need to take in order to write that book, and write those steps down? I love me some Asana, so put it in Asana and do little check marks or put like goal dates of when you want that thing to be done, and watch, like before your eyes, your book will be done. Before your eyes, your channel will be launched. Before your eyes, you will have a 5K, 10K, 15K month, because you've planned out the action steps to actually get there. So that's one big thing I will say, because for me, I read Think and Grow Rich, and so I'm over here like, okay, let me just think, let me just do this, do that, whatever. And it was like, there was no formula necessarily in that to actually get where I was trying to go. I needed coaching, but I did not realize that at the time. So yeah, anyway. So, and I'm not saying Think and Grow Rich did not work. Think and Grow Rich is like, it's good for your mindset, but in terms of the framework that you need and the formula that you need, not necessarily, in my opinion. Okay, my opinion. Okay. Okay, so number 8 is to not overly stress about the minuscule details. And I know you're probably like, wait, Andrea, you just told me to look at the action steps to get to the goal. That's different, sis. It's different. I'm talking about the minuscule details that don't nobody care about, that's not important, that is not helping you make sales, that is not helping you build your brand, that is not helping you build your community, that is not getting straight to the point of what you need to be doing within your business. So for me, I was so focused on wanting to, let me tell y'all a story. Let me just tell y'all a story real quick. So one of those mini niches I had on my channel was like author mentorship. I wanted to help authors learn how to write their books. I soon realized that was not the lane I wanted to go down. Love authors, love book writing. I'm an author myself, fabulous. But that just wasn't the lane I wanted to go down. But before I realized that, you guys, I went against the grain of what my old coach had told me was to build it as I go. Instead, I built it all out, and now I have a course, a full-blown course that has never been sold and is not being used because it has nothing to do with my niche, and I decided to switch my lane. So something I will say is, don't freak out if it's not perfect in advance. Go with what you have. Go with what you have. It does not need to be perfect whenever you start out, because you're going to perfect it as you're going. Real people giving you their real feedback and their real advice and their real like frustrations with whatever you have built is gonna help you so much more than you trying to think through all of it before you start. So I would say just do with what you have, okay? And just go for it. It's not gonna be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. That's okay. You're human. Give yourself some grace and know that that's okay. So something I will say is that when you are starting out, feel free to go to build as you go, okay? Now, as a recovering perfectionist, this does not mean that it can just be a piece of crap and you're launching a piece of crap. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying launch something that you are proud of and that you are beyond proud of, and most importantly, that will get your people results, that will help your people out, okay? That's what you want to do. So, yeah. And another thing is, I know people who, they overthink a lot of different things within business. They overthink, like I have clients who overthink, and I talk them through this quite a bit because mindset is a big thing. But they'll overthink their content creation process. And I, you know, it's one thing I'll say to them, I'll say, hey, have you thought about this? And I'm like, oh, and then all the ideas start flowing out. And I'm like, there's your ideas, there's your videos, there's your content things. And so one thing I will say is don't overthink it either. Like, do what you can with what you have. I would rather you try it out right now and be completely wrong than for you to be sitting here trying to figure it out and never do anything. Because in the process of that, you can at least be learning. You can at least get more comfortable on camera if it's like videos or content creation. You can at least get like more used to publishing, you know, live videos or social media posts. You can at least get more comfortable doing that even if it's wrong. You see what I'm saying? So I would rather you go like just like I want you to figure it out in action. I don't want you to just sit there and try to figure it out as you're like going. I don't want you to try to sit there and figure it out just like stuck, just figure it out and just stay still. Figure it out as you're moving, okay? You're gonna figure it out so much faster, so much easier, and you can actually get feedback from people. Like, for example, you can't get feedback on a channel that has no videos. You know what I mean? But I can give you feedback on a channel that has 10 videos. They may not be the best 10 videos, but at least there's videos up there. You get what I mean? That's way different. So go with what you have is something that I would tell myself and something I would tell you guys as well as you're going through this process too. So those are the 8 things that I would say that I would do /tell myself if I was starting my business over from scratch. So yeah. So something else I will say is that I honestly, the journey has been long and the pathway has been long, but I honestly wouldn't trade it for anything. I feel like I've learned so much in the process. I feel like I have grown so much in the process that was needed. And so something that I will say is I wouldn't trade the process for anything. Now, will I say I want y'all's process to be just as long as mine? No, which is why I'm creating the series for you guys. But something also to fall in love with is, especially within business, is fall in love with the process. Fall in love with the journey. Fall in love with what you're doing. And it won't seem like you're trying to hurry to get to a certain spot. And then when you get to that certain spot, you're like, well, what's next? I reached it. I hit my first 10K month. Now what? And it's like, because you'll always be chasing that thing. But stop to appreciate where you are. Something that I would say to myself, even right now, myself like 6 months ago, myself 3 months ago, is to stop and enjoy the journey and enjoy the process and enjoy your progress that you've had over the course of starting your business overall. So anyway, you guys, let me know down below in the comments section, what is something that you would do if you're starting your business over, or what has been something that has been extremely helpful within these 8 different points, that has been extremely helpful within these 8 points. And then also, you guys, within the next video, we're talking about what I would do if I was starting my YouTube channel over again. So be sure you check that out, and you will be sure you check that out. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, that way you know whenever it comes out, because I'm really excited about this series on my channel. So anyway, you guys, I love you to the moon and back. Be sure you come join our Facebook group, then also hit subscribe so you can come join this online family, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.